All right, this next one is for the text assignment, and it's pretty easy. If you go to Create, Text, and includes this one, and then you go ahead and you say your name. So, oops, not with caps lock on. You want to make sure that the poly is the one that is checked. And then, of course, you can choose your font. And, you know, it really depends. If you're just using it for the digital world, then it doesn't matter what it is. If you're planning on getting it 3D printed, then you want to make sure you choose something that's not like this. This wouldn't 3D print very well. So you don't want to do anything that's really loopy and too decorative if you're going to do 3D printing. I'll try that one. And you just, okay, and create. Okay, so it gets created. Here it is. So if all of yours are this gray, then that's great. You don't need to do anything else. If for some reason you have one that's black like mine is here, you just come up to where it says Mesh Display and you reverse it. Okay, so each side needs to be, for some reason the letter E on mine was inside out, is all. So now I'm going to extrude it. So remember, you can extrude here. There's also in your mesh tools or edit mesh, there it is, extrude. So then I'll just go ahead and pull it out to give some thickness to my text. Now for the assignment itself, just turning it in, this is actually all you do. This is why it's not worth a ton of points, because you just go like this, you turn on, I can see it's 3D, so just make sure that you can see that there's some depth to it. File, save image, change it to a JPEG, give it a name, name, save it. Now, if you want to get this 3D printed though, then there's some other steps that you need to do. First of all, is you're going to create a cube. Oh, and I'm going to do quick because I don't want to extrude this cube. And then between using W to move it, and then R to scale it down, because in order to print this successfully, it needs to have a platform. That way, when you're working on it, it won't fall over and the letters can actually be connected. So I'll make it a little thicker than that, but whoops. So a little thicker on that way. If I can get it to go, there we go, but then I need it to be thinner because there's no reason for it to be that thick. So then I can use W. Once again, if you're going to 3D print it, then what you need to do is when you look at it from the side, oh, I definitely did something weird to my, there we go. Somewhere along the lines, I accidentally went into something other than object mode. So let me shrink that down again and use W to move it. Okay, move it down. You just want to look and you want to make sure that there is contact. And you can look at it from front view to be certain that all the letters are submerged in the cube a little bit. And then you look at it from side view, because you need to make sure that that side that's going to be printed is flat. Because when I print it, it's going to be flipped over. So the reason that you need to have this, the back of your text, so that's why I use perspective mode to make sure I'm at the back. And I could make it so it went, that it was even right all the way on both sides, and that would be fine, but you just have to make sure it's even on the back, because when I print these, let me show you, this is the program that prints 3D printed files. It's going to be lying flat. Okay, so it will be flat like this, so this is the side, this is the top. So in order for it to not try to print things in air, this part needs to be flat. See how those are flat together? So just for 3D printing's sake, that needs to be flat. Okay? Once you've got that set up, you go ahead and you select it all, and we come to Mesh. And I'm going to do booleans and union, and that makes it all one piece. Then you go File, Export All, and you make sure it is an STL_DCE file. Okay, and then you go ahead and tell it where it's going to be, and then you would need to tell me what color you wanted it to be. So let's say name, and I'll say green. All the basic colors I have. I have red, I have blue, I have a light blue, a dark blue, gray, that's kind of a silver, a green, a black, a purple, a yellow. You can check with me for other colors. I might have more by the time you watch this, who knows. But, just say what color, okay, and then export. And that is the file that you will submit with your text if you want this to be 3D printed. So just make sure to submit that JPEG for your grade, and then that STL file for a 3D print if you want to have one. And then you are done. So this assignment is called text, or 3D text specifically.